What's up, everybody? Welcome to another fantastic, fabulous entry into the Yokai Delinquents podcast,
Yes.
hosted by Bearded Kappa Productions. We have our new home now. I am
Yay.
Jerry Robo Tengu Smith.
And I am Sean, bearded Kappa Litton.
How are you doing this week, sir? This
Dude,
is second week in a row recording.
yeah,
Doing,
we
I'm,
are we are
I'm
back
digging it.
on we're back on track. Um and a lot going on, but I feel okay about it. So hopefully not another vacation in the works.
Oh man, I mean, yeah, I feel like I need those constantly.
But yeah, it's going well. We got a lot of new stuff going on the channel. But first, I want to address something that you actually did for us on this show, and the
Yes.
viewers are looking at it right now. Why don't you go ahead and talk a little bit about this new imagery they're getting to check out?
Yeah. So it's something that we've talked about for a while, cover images and such. And we've oh man, I can't remember how many artists and stuff I've kind of like thrown in your face and been like, what about this person? What about this person? What about this person? And we actually I started following a lot of artists on Twitter and Instagram.
Right.
I mean, it's already really awesome to like you know follow artists and like just kind of like give them you know just like the views and likes and everything, get their stuff out there. And we kind of constantly struggled with like who we'd want to go with. And like we thought we had somebody, and then it was like the pricing's not exactly like where we're at for like our super chill podcasts and everything.
Right.
So we kind of had to like drop off of one that we really liked, unfortunately. But I recently just started following this artist that does like sprites, custom sprites, and pixelated art and stuff like that. And I know I brought it up to you at one point, and you were really excited about it. And honestly, I thought it was a really cool idea. So the artist is Juan Rosa. You can find him on Instagram at juna.ross. That's juna.ros at Instagram. And he just does some amazing work. And this is our new cover photo. So I think it catches our spirit well. Has the little Robo Tengu and Beardy Cap in there,
Yeah.
doing our little jumping poses. The title font itself is pretty dope. I think he fucking crushed it, dude.
Oh yeah, I mean, you surprised it with me today, as of the day of recording, and
Yeah,
yeah, I immediately was like, "That's fucking awesome." Because yeah,
yeah.
we had gone, you'd shown me some various artists. Granted, you were doing
Hmm.
the legwork of trying to track down some pixel art because we both agree,
Right.
we liked the pixel style, and
Hmm.
admittedly, yeah, I just was not feeling a lot of them, and and of course, sometimes it's hard to see how they're going to do a commission versus what they just kind of do in their normal art. And but this, I immediately loved this, and I
Yeah.
thought, again, catching the spirit. Apparently, you just took a very quick doodle I sent you once with
Right.
because I've been meaning to like kind of get a new cover for photo for us, but time, life, reasons, I still hadn't. Uh, and although I have been thinking about one recently, but now I don't have to worry about it for a little while at least. We never know;
Hmm.
it might pop up again. But
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm digging the shit out of this, and I've already, as I kind of talked to you before we started recording,
Hmm.
I might already got to throw some money at this cat because the pixel art has definitely given me an idea for my series that I do on this channel as well, the Let's Plays of Final Fantasy. So yeah, maybe I'll throw some money at this person as well, as you all should. Go check out links in the description on both just YouTube and the Anchor, Spotify. I don't ever know what to say. The audio portion. I guess how wherever Anchor sends it out to, however you were listening to this, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, whatever the fuck. But yes, for those who are on YouTube, you get to see this glory, but you will see. I'll definitely have to work this into a the thumbnail on the at least on Anchor so you can see it if I can.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely have to. We'll be sharing the word once this goes live, which will be the same day of recording. So y'all will be seeing this out there on all of our socials very
Oh
soon.
yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, want to thank Juan for doing this for us.
Yeah, super quick work too, man. The man works fast, gives lots of updates, takes any kind of like criticism or anything like that, like anything you want to like kind of add in or adjust or anything like that. He's super cool with it and everything. He was really great to work with.
That's awesome. Yeah, because you
So
should.
yeah,
I mean, I've
oh yeah.
not that I've done a ton, but here recently I've been
Mhm.
taking some commissions too, and I'm always like, if you hate anything, tell me, and we will adjust. This.
Right.
Yeah, so that's great. It's good to know because I know I haven't run into much issues in my life, but you occasionally get those artists who are kind of like throwing out an idea at them and they're just immediately shutting it down. It's like, well, okay,
Hmm.
I can appreciate that if it goes against say your artistic values, but sometimes it's like I'm paying you.
Right.
but
Right. Right. Right.
but again, that's neither here nor there in this case because he did an amazing job and I
Mhm.
loved it. So that was a great surprise for me at while I was at work against my will. So yeah. So what else?
Bastards holding you hostage.
I mean, that damn paycheck that brings you in every time.
Yeah. So something was posted today on the Monster Hunter Twitter.
Oh,
And I wanted to share it with you today because I just read it like I think right before we were recorded. I was scrolling through Twitter and saw this.
all right.
So here it is.
Yeah.
We've heard your request for cross save, cross play for Monster Hunter Rise and Sunbreak, but unfortunately, after
Oh,
looking into it throughout the development process, we found we were unable to implement it this time. As always, we appreciate your continued feedback and support. So
wait a minute.
I, yeah. So,
So this now, this is actually clearing up a little bit of confusion on my part that I didn't really ever actually jump into too deep.
mm,
Um, I kind of expect this to be a paid expansion, not like the free DLC that we get all the time through Monster Hunter. But I know this was going to be a
right.
major thing. So is this going to be a whole new game?
Yeah. So essentially, it's the same thing that they did with World and Iceborne.
Right.
Sunbreak is going to be like the next chapter for Rise.
But no cross save. We are starting fresh on
Well,
Sunbreak.
no. They're talking about for the PC release.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I misunderstood that. I thought you were like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
By the way,
Sorry.
even though it's an expansion to the original one, we're gonna make you start over anyway.
Right,
I was like,
right.
oh fuck,
No,
fuck,
sorry.
making me
I should have
sad.
specified there.
Okay,
Yeah, because that was one of the other things that they announced like earlier this month or last
right.
month, late last month. I can't remember which. I think it was early this month.
Yeah,
That they were bringing Rise and Sunbreak over to PC, which I was super stoked for because it's already a pretty gorgeous game. I would love to see what it would look like on a PC
oh
and
for
how
sure.
fucking fluid it would be. But the biggest takeaway from it is, I don't want to spend a whole nother like $60 on a game that I've already put like what 300 hours or whatever into,
Right.
and have to put all that time back in, and then you know even whenever I get back up to that point on PC, I still want to be able to play it on my Switch, whenever I go traveling and stuff like that.
Exactly. I mean,
Um,
I
so
honestly, like for the times that we're into Monster Hunter, which granted,
mhm,
we go very hard for a while, then it just does
mhm.
peter out.
Yeah,
But I
yeah, yeah.
always feel like I've gotten my money's worth and then some.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would probably have bought a copy of each so I could switch
Yeah.
back and forth, but without crossplay.
Mhm.
I guess I'm sticking with Switch because at least
Yeah.
that way I can have it on portable and on a screen. But yeah, because I know we got some friends that just don't have a Switch, but they love Monster Hunter, and it would have been
Mhm.
great to. I wonder if there'll at least be crossplay if it's when it does drop. I don't know. I don't even know if that's the.
No, that's one of the things that they said,
Not
no
even
cross
play,
save
not
or
just
cross
saves.
play.
Oh, okay,
Right.
okay.
Yeah, and I think it's just really is hindered by the capabilities of the Switch, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Um, just like them not being able to use like the same kind of setup, and not to mention like if someone on PC was playing with someone on Switch, I feel like it would the people on Switch would kind of be lagged a little bit behind the PC players because the PC will definitely run it like a
Well, yeah.
champ.
Well, of
Yeah.
course, but with Rise being designed for the Switch, it's
Hmm.
optimized on that. So I don't
Yeah.
honestly. I think it would be negligible difference, and
Yeah.
when it's not PvP, who cares?
Hmm.
Who cares if
Yeah.
you get your frame rates 4.9% better, than
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're both beating the shit out of this Zenogre. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
like, yeah, it does suck that they can't, because there are other games that have cross play and cross saves from
Hmm.
PC to Switch. So yeah, that's a little bit of a doubter. But
Yeah. Yeah. It's sad. And what I might just do at the least is more than likely, since they're releasing Rise on PC in January,
yeah,
when Sunbreak comes out, I imagine Rise will be on discount for both systems. So I might just at least pick Rise up for PC,
uh-huh.
just to kind of get that feel of how it is and everything.
Right.
I don't know how hard I'll go at it, but I mean, if it's on a pretty good discount, I'll probably still pick it up.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, that's a
kind of a bummer.
little
Um,
bit of a bummer. But
I'll bring it back up if you want before we get into our list here that we have.
what I was just gonna say was, I do like. I hope that Sunbreaker releases at least simultaneously.
Hmm.
That way, like even if we're you know, because I hate that like PC players only now just getting Rise. So like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I know, understand it's usually that kind of exclusivity delay in a lot of games, but I
Hmm.
always feel like even if it's not cross play, it's kind of you got your friends that are like playing the game much later, and by the time they're like, hey man, what about this? Like, dude, I don't know, I haven't played that game in months. And
Yeah.
maybe asking for tips or like trying to say, hey man, do you want to you know, like, do you want to play now and everything? It's like, well, I have to
Hmm.
buy the game all over again. And yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's sad.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a bummer. Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like we'll get there. We'll figure it out. Though with them considering it for this, and then just kind of figuring out that it's not gonna be able to happen, I do feel a little bit better for a like any future games that they release that they might consider that
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
as they're developing the game. You know,
Hopefully.
so yeah, I think that'll definitely be a thing that they have in the works.
Sure.
So yeah. Um,
Phenomenal.
so there was a so okay, we both watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, right?
Yeah.
And when the Avatar went away, that was just chaos for their world. Like it was just an empty time where the Fire Nation ruled, and that's kind of how we felt 3.5 years ago when Saga went on break
I was
for a
really
year.
wondering where you were going with
Yeah.
the Avatar thing.
Well, fantastic news. They had was it New York City Comic Con this past weekend, and fucking I wasn't paying attention to it at all. I didn't really care about any announcements, and then I saw this amazing image of Saga issue number 55
Yeah.
on Instagram, and they are fucking back. They're going to be coming back January 2022, and oh man, I'm so stoked.
Oh, happy birthday to me.
Oh, right? Gosh.
Yeah, that is amazing news because it was around January or February I saw that Brian K. Vaughan had mentioned him and Fiona Staples have been working on it, but that's
Mhm.
like the last we had heard anything. And then to
Right.
drop a gorgeous Fiona Staples cover,
Yes.
with release date. Now, of course, I shared it with everyone I could share it with, and you're going to have those people who are just like, oh, it's been too long. I don't care anymore. Uh,
Oh,
Sucks to be
how
you.
though?
How? I know,
Yeah.
right? I reread the what they've released already not too long ago, and it's still amazing. It's kept me excited. And a few people are
Mhm.
like, "Oh, well, it's gonna get delayed." I'm like, you know what? Can we get some? Like give Goku your positive energies for the Spirit Bomb. You know, no negativity needed. Yes, because I am. Quit shitting in my Cheerios because I'm super fucking happy.
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
and I made sure to go
it's
back to Kapow, my local comic book store, and be like, "I'm still on Saga, right?" To make,
right.
cause, it's been so long. You never know if like the system might kick them out if a book's inactive for so long. It's been 3 years, I believe. I looked it up
Mhm.
since the last issue. So,
Mhm. Um,
or has it been longer?
so no,
No,
three
no,
and a half years.
yeah, 3 hours. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
2018.
Oh
I know, right? And just going back to that Staples cover, and that was one of the coolest things about the series because throughout it, we would occasionally have a cover that had characters that we were like, "Who the fuck are these people?" Like
right.
these people look awesome. And I'm assuming, front and center we have Hazel,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm assuming that's Alana with dyed blonde hair.
Yeah, I think
And
so
then we
too.
have this fucking beefy koala dude with robot arms, an axe, and cargo shorts.
Yeah, man, it's comfy, living his best life.
I, I fucking dig it, dude. Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks like it's gonna be some really good spicy content.
I
Can't wait.
just cannot wait for the first page. Which, in
Mhm.
everyone who's read Saga knows that first page usually fucks you up.
Oh yeah.
And I cannot wait for January to get the dive back into this world. And like, I'm not sure if Brian K. Vaughan's ever said how long he intends for it to go, but
Yeah, right.
if we get another 50 something issues, I'm here for it. I cannot wait. I think I mentioned on the show. I'm not sure, but I bought the hardbound 3 volume collection so I could reread it,
Mhm.
and then recently paid off the layaway of issues 1 through 12, giving me a complete run.
Hell yeah.
Man, with your former boss, good old Matt, giving me a good deal because at first he was trying to the collector. I get it, I get it.
Mhm.
He's like, look, man, I got 9.8 on CG seed in the immobile plastic shell. I'm like, give me your worst condition copy. I know how much this book is. I
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
don't care. Just give me one that's not falling apart. Because he had 3 of them recently from buying some collections, and he graded
Yeah.
the ones in best shape, and there was one that was still loose. I'm like, give me the loose one. And
Yeah.
and he was actually going to give me the graded one. He knocked like I guess I don't want to give away his prices or anything. I
Mhm.
don't know why. Some people are weird about that. I always just play it cautious. But he,
Yeah.
he knocked like $60 off for me, off a
Oh,
graded 9.8, which was
yeah.
still a lot, but
Mhm.
that was a
Mhm.
great discount. And he always takes care of me. But I was like, yeah,
Oh yeah.
sell it for full price. Someone will buy it when this starts back up. Because I always had
Yeah.
faith, and this is long before we heard about it actually starting back up. But yeah, so I recently got a complete run of Saga, and it made me
Huh.
very happy.
Like like a drug dealer, Matthew is there.
Hey man,
Got your
what's
fix.
I'll have a fact about meth number 47. It's still worse than collecting comics.
Yeah, right, right.
So hey, I could be buying drugs.
Exactly. Yeah, mom.
Get off
I
me.
could be doing hardcore drugs.
Yeah, at least I'm not doing crack. All right, justifies me doing everything that's not as bad as crack.
Yeah, don't you'll never talk shit about my anime body pillow collection again.
Look, sir, we're not here to judge to their faces when people buy them body pillows.
Right, right,
you
right,
you
right.
judge them in secret. Unless for those of you out there
Oh man.
listening with body pillows, you do you, boo boo. Only Jerry judges you if you have a body pillow or if you're Irish.
Yeah, yeah. And if you need like a two scale printout of what I look like, just get in those DMs and I'll send that out to
Jerry
you.
will be having his custom Yowie Wowie body pillow of himself in
That's the thing
2026.
that we didn't mention that we are also having Juan work on those as well. We're still in contracts for it. We're still talking over the fine details, and we hope to have them hashed out for also January 2022. This has nothing to do with the Saga release, but we expect to have those out and in your homes as soon as possible.
Like we make jokes, but we're gonna get a shit ton of emails asking about them, and we're gonna really make this fucking happen.
Oh man, I would love nothing more.
Oh man! But speaking of anime fans and their
Yes.
taste in various, all right, it's the best segue I got. We are in the fall season of anime,
We're there. We made it.
and there are some new shows starting, some shows continuing, and I've checked out a few. I've still got more queued up, but life, as always, interferes me from enjoying myself and making me do
Hmm.
my hobbies that I also enjoy myself doing. So I thought we'd definitely have to at least bring up some of the ones we've seen, or at least that we're interested in. Maybe give our some thoughts and or reviews, maybe of an episode or two that has dropped.
Hmm. Yeah. You want me to kick us off here?
Oh yeah, if you got one you want to talk about already, yeah.
I'll give the first one that I wasn't surprised was released, but I'm honestly really digging it already within the first two episodes, which is not super surprising. I've loved stuff at the beginning and then hate it at the end. This I
Right.
feel like is going to go pretty far with me, and it's not going to really be a surprise. But Digimon Ghost Game came out
Oh yeah.
last weekend. Second episode came out this weekend. Well, I guess depending on when we do this episode, third episode's probably gonna be out. Anyway, yeah, it is a interesting take on Digimon. It kind of reminds me of how they did Digimon Tamers. It was a season three, and that's whenever like the Digimon were in the real world. Um,
Oh okay.
yeah, the interesting thing about this is their world is a little advanced where they have like holograms, like hologram advertisements and stuff like that.
Right.
But there's also this interesting like ghost aspect of it where some of them kind of go off on the deep end and like they're really Digimon, but people think like, oh, these are like, um, man, I'm trying to think of what they were called in Japan, like the slit mouth girl and stuff like that. But they basically become like these kind of like legends that sort of pop up,
Sure.
and they end up being Digimon. So then you need your protagonist to with his partner to kind of like solve these and fight these Digimon. And it's interesting because in the past it hasn't happened a whole lot where these other Digimon hurt like the humans and stuff like that, but it's kind of sort of a little violent sometimes, like kidnappings and taking their age away and stuff like that. It's been really interesting, and I love the design of the new protagonist Digimon. I usually like am kind of on the fence about it, but I think out of the three that they've shown, it's probably my favorite so far.
Oh yeah, he's very cool. Um, Now, not to make us seem like posers, and I hope I'm not completely wrong, but I do believe
Hmm.
that like spirits and hauntings type creatures in Japan are
Hmm.
known as yokai. Jerry,
Oh no! The word I was looking for was urban legend.
Okay, I thought you were really trying to like,
Yeah,
really, bro?
no. I
But
was
yeah,
I was
yeah,
looking for like urban legends, like these things that start as like rumors of like, oh, I heard this happened, and then
right,
like it gets
right.
a name, gets steam, gets popular online. Yeah,
Okay, I thought you were honestly trying to remember the word,
no,
the Japanese
no.
word for spirits or monsters. Like, okay, Jared. Yeah, but no, I am not a Digimon kid because I'm an old curmudgeon. Digimon was definitely after I was on to quote unquote adult animes and stuff, for grown men like such as myself. By the time
Yeah.
Digimon were really dropping, but I through you especially, and a few other of our friends, I've learned about Digimon more and more over the years, and this is the first one though I checked out at the jump, and
Hmm.
yeah, I am really digging the dark atmosphere of it. I
Yeah.
mean, like without getting into too much details, the urban legend, the monster that they have to deal with in the first episode is about time, and seeing these
Hmm.
kids just ghastly
Hmm.
turning ghoulishly into old wrinkled corpses,
Mm-hmm.
basically, because it takes time from you. Like
Yeah.
my wife walked through the room just not knowing what I was watching. And she was like, that looks scary as hell." I was like, "That's
Yeah.
Digimon."
Yeah.
Like that's for babies. That's an exaggeration, but she was like, "I don't know what a Digimon is," and kept on walking.
Like angrily,
Yeah,
grumpily like that.
yeah,
Like, what? Fuck Digimon.
basically. But even she was like, "This looks scary." I'm like,
Yeah.
"It is for kids." But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, first I'm only one episode into it, but it's one I'll
Mm-hmm.
definitely be checking out while I can. As always, time will make I think we talked about it in the last episode where I mentioned I started with like 13 shows I was watching the last season. I ended with 2, and I still haven't
Mm-hmm.
finished the second one. So I don't know if that even counts as a full 2.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Revengers. I finished Revengers and it killed me.
Good job. Yeah, I know,
But
right?
yeah, so Digimon's off to a solid start. Uh, I'm gonna actually talk about 2 at the same time because they're damn near the same show. But me
Ow.
and me and the wife,
Dude.
I know, right? Me and the wife are gonna probably be keeping on these whenever she feels like watching.
Mhm.
They're both 6-minute episode series, so
Okay.
they're very easy to digest. And like at least when we watched them, 3 episodes
Mhm.
each were released. So the first one is Tawawa on Monday,
Mhm.
which, as best I can describe it, is just the life of 3 different large-chested women
Okay.
going through their
That
daily
sounds like
lives
yeah.
from various, like, just one's in school, and she just has, they were watching a Ghibli film, which I believe it was not Spirit in the Sky, Castle in the Sky, where they showed like the 2 beefy guys like kind of had a flex off, and it was a straight clip from the Ghibli film where like they're both kind of like flexing and their shirts rip off. So her and
Mhm.
her large chested sister are like, "I can do that shit." They pop their buttons off. Again, we like our comedy, we like our fan service,
Oh yeah.
but it's cute. It's like I said, they're definitely it's my wife finds it like surprisingly enough, my wife finds enjoyment in like the ones that get like kind of risque and a little dirty, but not like too far. But she thought it was cute, so that's one we're also checking out. And a similar series uh, it's called Ganbare Doki-chan, which
Mhm.
while not about busty women, there is of course a busty woman. It's basically about an office lady who has a crush on her kohai, the guy who's worked there less than she has.
Mhm.
And at first, like it opens, the first episode is just like, "Oh no, we're on a business trip and we're gonna have to share a room together." Because you don't know she likes him at this point. They're just like, "This is gonna be awkward," but like there's no point in him going to stay somewhere else. And then throughout her telling him, "Don't try anything, don't try anything," I'm watching you, kind of thing. It revealed that she wanted him to do something. She set all that up because she wants to get with him, but of course she's too shy. And then it turns out her coworker also likes him, and she's a lot more aggressive. And it's just like I said, it's slice of life, little etchy, little comedy to them, and they're 6 minutes apiece. It's one me and the wife will be enjoying.
Sounds pretty cute.
Yeah, yeah. As it may not be for
Sounds like some good shit for both of you to watch together.
yeah, because again, like she's not into shonen because the fights take too long. She literally watched almost all of One Piece up to Chopper's debut. That she felt I'm done. So like but she liked Food Wars again. There's that fan service going on there, but she liked the cooking aspect as well. So yeah, yeah. That's a couple. Like I said, they're both like again 6-minute episodes, so you can knock them out quick if you just want to watch them all in a row. But
Mhm. Yeah. That sounds fucking great. I love that they're like making more series that are shorter like this.
I usually
Um
check for those. Like whenever I start a
mhm.
new show without knowing anything about them, I look at the runtime,
Mhm.
and there's
Yeah.
part of me with my busy schedule is like, please be a short one, please be a short one,
Yeah.
and it's like, nope, 20 minutes. Like, oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, I mean, you could watch like 4 episodes of one of those and get caught up in it in
right?
the same time that it would take you to watch one episode of something else that you're behind in.
Yeah,
So
and they're like,
it's
like the interesting thing too. I'm not sure about Tawawa, but Gambare. That was actually the anime is based off of the artist is just was posting single image drawings on Twitter
Oh.
of I guess like kind of the situations or kind of like
Mhm.
giving a one panel descriptor of the awkwardness of her the main character trying to flirt with the guy she likes, and he got
Mhm.
an anime off that.
Mhm. Well, yeah,
And of course, like
that's
they show like some of the stills during the episode. It was like, of course, gorgeous fucking art and fan
yeah,
servicey. So of course, all the attention in the world when you can draw the pretty peoples.
yeah, yeah. That's great.
So what's another one you got
Uh,
there?
one, and I actually there's only one episode out so far, and I just watched it. I think it comes out probably on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. But it is Sakugan, and it is unique. And I was actually like, in the group with you, Mike, and Um, I kind of like posed in like, oh, is there anything that has a robot on it? And um, Mike suggested this series, and it's pretty interesting. The whole synopsis of it is a father and daughter team up to pilot their powerful mech to fight monsters and explore the mysteries of the labyrinth. Um, the setting is pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of how Gurren Lagann started, if you've watched any of that, where they live in underground cities.
Right.
And they have, I guess, two different teams that are, using these mechs to kind of like navigate their world. They have this huge city, and it's pretty nice. They've got technology and stuff like that, so it's not like they're like cave people or whatever.
Right.
Well, I mean, they have robots, so I guess that's a pretty good indicator. So the main character and his daughter, um, like I said, there are two different kind of like factions here. You have their faction that uses like digger robots to kind of like find minerals and stuff like that, and then you have another group that actually maps out tunnels, and they get into fights with like kaiju and stuff like that live in these caves. And the daughter like really wants to become one of those, but the father is like not wanting her to, and she's like kind of a technical genius, already went through college and everything, and so he's basically just trying to get her to help him just find all these minerals so they can live a good life. And something happens, and it kind of like forces them into this thing where they end up having to go into like the exploring part of it. And it's like the animation is so solid in this series. It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
I will say one thing that'll be a turnoff for some people, but I've kind of grown pretty accustomed to it, so I can appreciate it. Is the kaiju and the robots are going to be in that CG animation, but I feel like at this point it kind of flows fairly well.
I mean,
So,
we've
but I'll yeah
sorry, I was just gonna interject on that a little bit.
yeah.
Like yeah, we've seen some that work well, and we've seen some that don't. So
Hmm.
it's all up to I guess the studio. Knights and Magic used the same thing. I think it blended very well.
Yeah.
But we've seen other ones where I was just like, okay, the CG is fucking killing me. I can't, So yeah,
Right.
if you think it works, then I'm gonna take your word on that. I have it queued up, but I have not watched that one yet. But yeah, it definitely caught my attention.
Hmm. If anything, it's going to be like a great like sort of over the top, just like exploration of this world that they live in with like a interesting father daughter mechanic, where like he's kind of a meathead and she's like really smart and everything, and I kind of like where they're going for it and what the premise that they presented to us has so far.
Okay. The
So
next
what do you got next?
the next one. Okay. So you know, or do you know, or have you ever experienced a show that you watched, you read the subtitles, and you watched the entire thing, and you're still not 100% sure what you saw?
Oh, absolutely, all the time.
Um, this one is called Toct Op. I don't know.
Hmm.
Dot Destiny.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, this is
as
on my list for sure.
as best as I can remember what the plot was, there are demons or monsters in this world, and this man plays a piano. His arm turns into pedals to armor up this girl who beats the shit out of them in the most beautiful animation from Mappa you will see this season.
Nice.
That
I mean, I've got it on my list for sure, and it's
yeah,
definitely something that I am super
yeah,
interested in
like
watching.
the action sequences are just gorgeously animated. It's again like yeah, literally like music is used to fight off monsters. So it's
Mhm.
like yeah, like the music is the light that illuminates people's hearts, and that light is only taken from the world. So like I think like music isn't really used much or played much. It's taboo in the world, but they use it now to armor up our main character, and she just beats up giant monsters. And again, it's from Mappa, which just know they're just godly
Oh,
animation. So that's one that's definitely got my interest. I'm gonna continue on that one for sure.
yeah, and I mean, armor, monster beating, like what more could you ask for in an anime, really?
Oh, absolutely.
So, one that I'm interested in watching that I've only read up until this point, that I know you've read some of, but I don't know how interested you were in it, and that's Platinum End from the creators of Death Note and Bakuman.
Right.
It is fairly interesting. The premise is a young boy must fight against 12 other humans to become the next god of the world. Um, the interesting thing, because you have that kind of intelligence strategery of Death Note, where they get certain abilities and they have to kind of figure out ways to, either hide, escape, defend, or attack these other people. And it's kind of made in this interesting way how Death Note had the Shikigami with
Yeah.
them.
Right.
These characters they're paired up with angels, so they're essentially like um, possible like gods that get paired up with angels. The angels are all different like power levels, and depending on their power level, they have certain abilities that they can do that they can imbue their like god candidate with. Um, and it gets pretty interesting. I got pretty far. Well, I got a little ways into the manga. If you want to read it, you can actually find it for free on Viz's website. They unfortunately don't have it on their app, or else I would already be caught up in the shit. But
Right.
yeah, you can read it on their app, or you could just check out the anime that's out now. It's by Signal MD Studios, and it
Right.
looks pretty gorgeous from what I've seen.
Yeah, I remember reading at least the first chapter, and I don't know, like the big problem with the creators, like I don't remember it being so much in Bakuman, but I don't think I read that as it was coming out either. I think I read it once the anime had come out, so they already had plenty of chapters going.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like their publishing schedule is like one of those once a month kind of things, and
Oh yeah.
like when you got stories involved that are like a lot of deep subterfuge and mind games, I do better
Hmm.
reading them in bulk. Although like in animated form, it might be a lot easier. But yeah,
Hmm.
I got it queued up. Have not checked that one out, but I'm definitely interested. Like I do remember, like us talking about it when it came out a few years ago. So that's what I plan to watch here soon.
Yeah.
Had one that I'm also intrigued in,
Yeah.
called Fena, Pirate Princess.
Oh yes.
Yeah, just about an orphan. Like remember, Fena basically has amnesia about her family. She escapes from to an island of pirates, discovering truth behind her family, which is like she's royalty, and just
Hmm.
already like it's got a good sense of like action and humor to it.
Hmm.
And I'm really digging it. And of course, like just she's surrounded by like badass protectors, and
Yeah.
I think it's gonna already be a lot of fun. Weirdly enough,
Yeah.
this is published by Adult Swim. This is
Yeah, I
actually
know.
funded
Pretty
by them. Like
interesting.
that's real. It's a Crunchyroll original, but it was actually made. I guess Adult Swim teamed up with Crunchyroll to make that. So it's very
Mhm.
cool. So it'll most likely be on the Adult Swim channel as well as Crunchyroll.
Yeah, I actually ended up watching the first episode before we recorded earlier.
Okay.
The animation's really good for
It
it,
really is. Yeah.
and it looks like they actually already released the whole first season. Like
Oh, is it?
first 12 episodes, yeah, are already on Crunchyroll, so you could just fly through it. I'm wondering if like maybe Crunchyroll got it late, so they were just trying to get people caught up and it's still airing, or
Oh,
if a new season's airing and now they're doing that. But yeah, no, I mean regardless, it'll be nice to have something to just watch on my off time of not having any anime to watch.
nice. I did not realize that because yeah, I know I watched the first one and I think I remember seeing that the second episode was coming up. But I'm like, other stuff to watch. Plus, I think I was watching it kind of late. But yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah, you're absolutely right. 10 episodes are up already. So
Nice. Yeah.
yeah, definitely one I would
Yeah.
recommend checking out. Uh,
It's one that I've seen advertised quite a bit, so I was kind of excited whenever I found out it was finally on Crunchyroll.
right. Now one I watched and I'm not continuing it, but
Mm-hmm.
y'all out there might want
Mm-hmm.
to dig it. So I want to talk about it because I did watch it, at least the
Yeah.
first episode. It's called The Fruit of Evolution. Before I knew it, my life had it made. um, where a fat, stinky kid gets isekai'd into a world where he has, because he had no friends, he got dropped off by himself in a harsh jungle to where he got, through finding evolution fruit, he managed to make himself skinny and, a better
Okay.
form of himself. And
Interesting.
from what it looks like, he's going, because it didn't happen in the first episode, they kind of showed it, then flashed back to his origin, where he battles a pink gorilla
Mm.
who is super powerful, and it looks like he's gonna give her some evolution fruit to turn her into a hot chick in this new world.
Okay.
And I know I'm not selling it well because I didn't like it, but it is a unique premise from what I can tell for an isekai, which usually we
Hmm.
like.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. It didn't click with me. I might hear later that maybe some epic battles go down, or it gets
Yeah.
a lot better than just, oh, I used to be fat and I'm still smelly and that's my superpower. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm being sensitive because I'm a fat guy.
No,
I'm not
no,
smelly, but
yeah. It's
I
just
don't
I
know.
don't know. It's kind of a weird premise. I don't think I would give it a chance.
Yeah,
But
not
yeah.
for me. But hey, maybe I'll
Yeah.
want some offbeat in your isekai. It might be the thing for you.
Right.
Uh,
Um
I think that's all the ones I've actually watched. So I'm just kind of going through the list now, seeing what else is out. Have you
yeah.
watched Have you watched anything else yourself, or?
I haven't watched anything else, but there are things on this list that I don't think have aired just yet that I was kind of interested in. And let's see. I mean, and some of these it seems like will be on the winter docket,
Right.
but I don't know. They're still on this list, so I was just gonna name them off. The Ancient Magus Bride (OAD). They I can't tell. This might be a movie. Or it just might be the next season. I think it might be the next season. The first season, like, kind of really blew me away. It was about this woman who's kind of she's like gifted in a certain way, and she ends up at this like this auction, and she gets bought by this person that's some kind of like he almost looks cursed, like he's got this almost like bull skeleton head,
Right.
and you're I mean you're kind of led to believe by the people in the audience that they don't really know what to think of him, like it's almost like they're thinking that he's some kind of like deviant or something like that, and he actually kind of turns into like this nice guy that's just like wanting to get her out of that situation type of thing. And he really just introduces her to this like whole other like realm of like magic and stuff, and it turns into a really like sweet series. It's really
Oh,
cute. The animation's gorgeous. I would definitely recommend it because I know at least Crunchyroll has at least the first season that's like 12 episodes, and I fucking dug the shit out of it
yeah. And
watching it, and I
yeah,
can't wait for more.
this is gonna say yeah. I've heard good stuff. It's not one I checked out, but I've heard a lot of people dig it who have watched it. So uh,
Yeah, yeah.
maybe whenever I actually have free time
I know, right?
to go back and
When will
watch
that
it.
be?
But yeah, heard good stuff about that. I guess the only one I have, which is Demon Slayer.
Yes.
The new season has technically started by them dropping the Mugen Train movie
Hmm.
on Crunchyroll. You can watch the movie in its entirety. Uh, on there now, and then the next arc will be starting sometime this month. I believe
Hmm.
it should be dropping here soon. Although they said they're only going to go, I think, 18 episodes as
Hmm.
opposed to like the 25 or 26 we got in season one, because the
Hmm.
movie technically counts as part of the second season because it is the next arc in the manga.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll be getting that a shorter season of individual episodes, sure, but I'm sure we're going to be getting so much more of that glorious animation.
Yeah, and they've already actually given us a date for when the actual next season starts after the movie. It's going to be December 5th.
Oh, not till
So
December. Oh, okay, okay.
yeah. So if you you want to get to that next arc, but you've already seen the movie and you're kind of like okay to not watch it in episode format, I mean just tune in December 4th, I mean December 5th, and yeah, you can start that next follow up. So I'm assuming that the Demon Train is going to be what, like 12 episodes. That'll be the first part of their season, and then the second part will be Entertainment District.
No,
Which
no.
yeah.
The movie's the whole movie. It's just it's 1 hour 56.
Oh
Yeah,
wow, so
I
they're
thought
not
I'd heard
splitting
that
up.
too. I thought I heard they were doing that
Yeah,
too, but I'm looking at it
interesting.
now, and yeah, no, it's just the whole movie in one shot. So,
Uh, I honestly kind of prefer that. I
oh
don't
yeah,
know
yeah,
because they've done that with other things
yeah,
where they bring it in and they're like, watch this movie but do it in episodes, and it's kind of like, well, you're sort of like, you know, breaking the flow of the movie by making me watch outros and intros. Like,
yeah.
it's just
Which
funny.
weirdly enough is not unheard of. Actually, a lot of there were 80s cartoons like GI Joe and Transformers actually
Mhm.
would do that. Have I guess more it would be like a multi-part episode. I guess reverse then from what I'm actually thinking now that my old brain is working again. Where they would do like a multi-episode story, which because back in those days, a lot of the cartoons were just individual episodes,
Right.
one story per episode. But then they would release it on VHS, and they're like a new movie, and it's just like these are just
Mm.
the however many episodes that were in a row. So,
Right.
but no, they dropped it in its entirety in one video. So yeah, go if you've held off on renting movie. I bought it on Amazon Prime because I did not get to go see it in theaters. So I've had the movie. I watched it a couple times now since I bought it on Prime, and
Hmm.
it's a glorious film. And now
Oh yeah.
and granted, I think I bought it for like $14, really. So
Hmm.
not mad about that. Uh, yeah, but if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it now on Crunchyroll because it is there in its glorious entirety.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really like can't wait for them to do more like that. Like I hope we get the My Hero movies. I don't know if either one of them are on there, but we're also getting a third one. What I think either January or before. Um, so that's pretty exciting. The second movie that they did was really cool. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I still hadn't seen the second one yet. I did watch
Yeah. Well,
the Island of Heroes or whatever it was called,
yeah, yeah.
but
I think it might be available on Prime if you want to go that route again.
yeah,
Um,
I think that they're both on there, and I think I rented the first one that way. And again, I'm not like super into long form series movies that aren't like canon. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Mhm.
with Mugen Train being the actual next arc of the manga, as soon as I could watch it legally, I watched it. And
Yeah.
not to say I haven't enjoyed others, some like One Piece had a lot of good films that weren't canon or only maybe touched on some canon events like Strong World and Film Z.
Mhm.
But yeah, they're not usually my thing, but yeah, which is ironic considering that my monthly or my yearly tradition of October watching horror films because I have Macabre Matinee on Bearded Copper Productions channel, where I review horror films now with Craig. I put up a poll on Facebook and asked a series of different genres of film, like which ones do you want me to marathon in October, and anime films won out. So I've actually been
Yeah.
running through a bunch of those.
Are you? Have there been a lot of rewatches for you?
A few, because I did
Yeah.
requests. I didn't do like a new anime film to me kind of random thing.
Hmm.
I threw out some
Right.
requests, and yeah, there've been a couple, but I've actually watched a lot of new stuff,
Yeah.
including
Oh, that's awesome.
my most recent one was uh, titled in Japan Ultraman USA. but it was called
Oh.
Ultraman: The Battle Begins or something. The Adventure
Mhm.
Begins, which was released by Hanna Barbera over here. So this was I don't remember ever seeing this as a kid, and it's very much
Yeah.
in that era of GI Joe Transformers, like I was just talking about three fighter pilots that got into it when a meteor crashed on Earth. Apparently, the aliens that make Ultraman merged with them, and they became Ultra people. I guess they call them Ultra Force, and that's because two men and a woman, each with their own different stylized Ultraman, fighting animated versions of the live action Ultraman stuff. So they had like the giant monsters and stuff, and much like a lot of shows in that era, you have moments of glorious animation, and the rest of it is
Yeah.
very stilted and like
Right.
minimal
Right.
frames. But they would have like those. But then they had that transformation scene where they're like, "Give them more money for this."
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh, seriously.
that
Yeah.
was
That's
interesting.
that's
But
hilarious. How like man, I can't imagine like some of the requests are easy to find.
not all.
Yeah.
Fortunately, like okay, because I know, and full disclosure, because
Yeah.
this isn't like where I can just go to Amazon and watch the first one I hadn't seen before, like I would do with the horror
Right.
films, where
Right. Right.
American horror film, typically American, but horror films, you can actually find a lot of services that just have them. But
Yeah.
with anime, it's still pretty niche, and unfortunately, because I'm not paid for these reviews,
Mhm.
$4 rentals add up. So I can't do that.
Oh
So
yes.
typically, now I've had a few people are actually lending me their Blu-rays or their DVDs
That's
for the
awesome.
ones that live locally. But others, like I've been lucky on a few, one or two. Yeah, had to go through nefarious means.
Hmm.
This by way of YouTube, apparently. I did not know YouTube had a big community for uploading entire films.
Oh yes.
That's actually where I had to watch Ultraman. I had to watch Grave of the Fireflies that way because it's not
Hmm.
part of Disney's deal with Ghibli. So, for whatever reason, that one's not part of the Ghibli collection on HBO Max. Uh,
Hmm.
so I
Interesting.
got to experience that again because our good friend Russ Galusha wants me to be sad in October.
Oh, oh no.
But yeah. So I think all but no, I think I managed through that way as many legal means as I possibly can. Yeah, there was one I thought I wasn't going to be able to get, which was the
Yeah.
first time because our buddy Drew Patram, he wanted me to watch Lupon III, the first, which is like a newer one, I believe. It's pretty new.
Yeah.
The full
Is
like
that the CG one?
yeah,
Okay.
where it looks like Pixar tried to draw like Monkey Punch,
Right.
and which some characters, yeah, legit, and I mean gloriously animated, but like some of the designs were like, okay, I feel like I'm looking at a Pixar character more so than a Monkey Punch Lupin character, but still an enjoyable film.
Hmm.
But I had to I looked everywhere for it. It wasn't even for rent, anywhere. Like even if I wanted to go
Yeah.
that route, I was like, I had to tell Drew, hey man, sorry dude, I can't get that one. If you want to pick something else, he goes, bro, I own it. I'm bringing it to you.
I was about to say I'm pretty sure it's available to rent on Prime. I felt like I've almost watched it several times.
Maybe it was for rent, but
Uh,
again, the rental issue. It was. I just remember I couldn't.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I usually try to find where it's streaming. Like I got one today. I'll be having to watch later. Luckily, it's on Tubi, which is a free streaming service with ads. So
Mm-hmm.
you go through that route sometimes, which is fine
Yeah,
as long as it's a legal service as much as I possibly can. But again, if it's on YouTube, I'm not going to go through like all the doubt. Like do I wish it was available somewhere else? Absolutely, but
yeah.
because
Oh no, I understand.
again,
You actually reminded me of another offshoot Lupin movie that came out. That's probably one of my favorites. And I can't remember if we watched this together, but it was Goemon's Blood Spray. It had to do with like
oh,
a dude from Goemon's past and
oh
everything
wow,
like that. It was really
did not
yeah.
watch that. I think literally, this now is the second Lupin film I ever seen because
Oh.
and I watched some of the series back when Adult Swim,
Mhm.
their animation block had it for a little bit, but like yeah, before this one, it was Castle Cagliostro, part of
I was
the Ghibli
about to call
films.
that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the one everyone got introduced to Lupin with, and
Yeah.
it's an amazing Miyazaki
Yeah.
directing it and right. I believe he wrote it. It might have been Monkey Punch, But just
Mm.
with the Studio Ghibli animation and art style, which that one I think really blended fairly well with Monkey Punch's style.
Yeah, yeah. The only other one that I remember watching that I really enjoyed was Green versus Red. Um, that was a pretty solid flick
Oh, okay. Yeah, just
for
nothing
Lupon.
against Lupin, but it's just it's not one
Yeah,
I've seen a bunch of.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not my typical like thing that I like to watch, but the character's pretty interesting. It's got a long history.
Oh, sure.
Do you have room on your list for another movie? I know you've watched, but I like just recently rewatched it and feel like everybody needs to go back and rewatch it immediately.
Oh, Jerry, you know the rule. You have to say it on Facebook so I can screen capture it. No, go ahead.
Oh
I'll
no,
let
I'll
it
do
happen.
that right now too. Fuck you.
Well, tell at least the audience which movie you're thinking here.
So, the movie that I want you to watch that is available for free on Prime because I checked before I made this recommendation is Redline.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yes.
I know you.
Yep.
I saw that post. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on. Well, I mean, go ahead. Go ahead, so I can. Even just send it to me in Messenger so I can screen capture. So I won't forget. Really, is why I have to do it that way. But I've got like a
Uh,
lot coming down. Uh,
yeah.
if you're
Were,
just
were you just having people like make a post on your Facebook page?
Yeah, most of them were just comment. I've had a few people send it to me in Messenger, but a lot of people are just commenting on the reviews I've been dropping. But like I said, you can just send it to me. Just so I can screen capture from my own memory. That's all.
Right.
But I mean, I'm trying to look back. Unfortunately, I think I deleted the first page of what I watched. But the one I watched before Ultraman was Weathering with You, and if
Yes.
y'all hadn't seen that,
Oh, I know.
that's a beautiful film.
Fuck, dude, I was sobbing in the theater.
It was really good, and I actually watched the dub of it because it's on HBO Max, and
Yeah.
I was like, whatever version comes up because it's usually I'm not a sub elitist, and
Right.
some days after work I don't feel like reading, so and
Mhm.
a lot of you can still find a lot of good dubs. This was actually a really good dub, but yeah, that was the last one I watched, and just previews for what we got coming up soon. Today's is Wicked City, which is on, like I
Oh.
said, it's on Tubi. That's one I hadn't watched in a long time. But I mean, just going through randomly, so not to really say which order I'll be watching these in. We got like the Garden of Words. I don't even know what that is, but hopefully I can find that one. Porco Rosso, Ninja Scroll, Summer Days with Coup. Thanks, Noel.
Mm. Ooh, yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Cowboy Bebop, Knock on Heaven's Doors. Arashi no Yuru ni. I don't even know what that is, but I'm gonna find it if I can. Robot Carnival, Ninja Scroll, Empire of Corpses. I don't even know what that is. But
All
again,
right.
yeah. Nausicaa, The Valley of the Wind, which is a great one. Here's one you rented or bought. I don't remember. I know I watched it with you. Tenkan Kincrete.
Oh, to Concrete.
I know
Yes.
I said it wrong, Jerry. You ain't got to be elitist about
It was
it.
that one was actually in our list.
Oh yeah. That's why we watched
Yeah.
it. Yeah, because it was
Yeah.
the anime films you must watch. Someone made like a comprehensive, like the 20 or 50. It was a big list of like this anime films you have to watch in your lifetime,
Yeah.
and we were like, bro, we ain't going anywhere here lately. Let's just fucking watch anime films. And I think that's how you
Hmm.
finally watched. I think both Barefoot Get and Grave of the Fireflies.
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself on both of
It's nothing wrong with feeling, Jerry.
those.
But
Oh man.
full
Okay.
disclosure, real quick, full disclosure.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Grave of the
Yep.
Fireflies still fucked me up on the fifth watch.
Oh no, I fucking bet it did. Oh
Sorry,
yeah.
you were saying. Sorry.
Man, I gotta go back and watch Weathering with You now. It's so good. I need to send you because I think they did two other movies that were really good. I can't remember. I think I found out that like one of them isn't connected with it though, like from the creator or whatever.
Oh,
But it's
okay. Yeah.
Your Name and then a Silent Voice. Maybe those two are
Yeah,
connected, and they're
I've
not connected with Weathering You. But
I've heard of the other two. I don't know.
yes,
They may be on the list, but it is definitely one I
uh,
need to make time to watch.
right. And I believe they're both on Netflix. But speaking about being torn asunder by fucking media lately,
Yeah.
I finished Squid Game. and
Oh, nice,
like,
nice.
I can go through some emotional like show or something. I like, especially whenever I watch stuff, there are certain aspects, certain things that will pop up that will get to me, and I will tear up.
Uh huh.
Like
Yeah.
it will hit me real hard. Okay, Squid Game, I was fucking bawling, dude.
Really?
Like we had to stop. Like I don't want to set expectations for you for
No,
this to
of
be like
course, of
really
course.
powerful. But I just want to tell you my experience is like after a certain episode ended, I had to stop, clean my face off, blow my nose, and make myself a fucking drink. Right? Like,
I
dude,
laugh, but it's not. I promise it's not
yeah,
mocking. I'm not
yeah,
mocking
yeah,
you
no,
for
no,
you're a bro with the feels, and I get it, and I
yeah,
respect it. I think we've discussed it before. If it wasn't on our One Piece specials with Mike,
yeah,
we mentioned before because it was. I think it was the first time we talked about this kind of thing. Was
yeah.
you mentioned the Going Merry
Oh,
thing in
dude.
One Piece? Yeah, you said
I
you were
mean,
legit crying, and
oh, and even on that episode, like trying to go over that, I was
yeah.
starting to get choked up, and I'm like, oh god, I can't do it.
And I'm gonna talk about it now because I grew up,
Yeah,
at least in my circles and my era.
mm,
Being a teen of the '90s, child of the
yeah,
'80s. Yeah, like that's not cool, bro. You don't fucking cry. You're a fucking man. And there's a part of me,
yeah,
not to say I haven't,
yeah,
like I used to call it what I used to call I don't cry, man. I man cry. And for those who don't know, who aren't in my own silly world, man crying is when you're like when you just start cussing because you don't want to cry. Like, man, that's fucked up,
yeah,
man. Nah,
yeah,
man. Come on, really? Nah,
yeah,
man. No, you're crying words instead of actual tears.
yeah,
Because yeah. So I admire though people who've said like they can watch films and actually like bring them to tears. And I'm not gonna say it hadn't happened, but it's very
yeah,
rare. So
yeah.
like yeah, for you to say that tells me a lot about what I have to expect in Squid Game because I'm only 2 episodes in and like I mean the first episode already showed me why people are losing their shit.
Yeah.
It like why it's drawn attention. And again,
Mhm.
it's like I don't want to sound elitist, but I'm about to sound elitist. It's good. Don't get me wrong, it's
Yeah.
good. But
Mhm.
like the killing aspect is nothing new to me.
Oh yeah.
And I hope and that's what I see mainly people talking about. And like
Mhm.
but like what's grabbing me though is the characters' plights that we're going to be learning
Yes.
about. I can already tell from 2 episodes in, we're going to be learning
Mhm.
more and more about what will be the main characters, and I'm sure it's one of those series where it's like, don't get attached. But
Mhm.
yeah, so I think that's going to be more interesting to me than the death games.
Yeah.
And oh, which by which you had a very interesting thread on Facebook about
Oh
uh,
yes.
the whole everything doesn't have to be compared to enter this and this. And
Mhm. Mhm.
be proud of me, Jerry. Be proud of me.
Yeah.
Not that I wanted to like it wasn't for clout or
Yeah.
eliteness, but just because I saw what you said people have been commenting, I just want to go
Yeah.
in there like, excuse me, this is all a copy off of Running Man, which to my knowledge is the oldest story of a death game.
Man,
But
is
again,
it
yeah, you
though?
got to
I
keep.
swear there's something else.
There might be, but like that's the oldest one I know. Because even like when I
Yeah.
saw, I always said it jokingly because I'm not full of myself.
Mhm.
I am knowledgeable and I come across like an ass sometimes. But
Mhm.
but like when Hunger Games came out, I found a great meme. I just love just to annoy people, not to be a mean troll, but just like be a little smart assy.
Mhm.
Like Hunger Games. Oh, I think you mean Battle Royal.
Right.
So yeah, so you know what? Don't shit on Squid Games because if people are digging it, they may not have watched Hunger Games
Right.
or Battle Royale or insert this thing all the way back to at least Running Man,
Dance
if
or
not older. Yeah, like there's
yeah.
it's not a new genre, but it's people are catching a show that's drawn them into another culture's television, a series. Which,
Mhm.
granted, there is an English dub, which I love now seeing non-anime fans arguing over sub and dub. I've seen that going on.
Uh,
Like,
the best.
I watched the first episodes in Korean with
Mhm.
subtitles, so I don't know. Did you watch the dub or did you watch it subtitled?
I watch it subtitle.
Right
Yeah,
on.
the whole thing. But I've been hearing a lot of people talking about that. the translations were off actually.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I'm a little bit bummed about that.
Hmm.
Which I mean, I feel like still watching the sub over the dub, the translations will be better than the dub still.
Yeah,
But
probably. But here,
yeah.
what it might be, and again, I'd watch the dub.
Hmm.
Sometimes, oftentimes, at least oftentimes, when I've heard people say something like that,
Hmm.
it could be two things. A, yeah, the translation team just maybe one top notch. They just got whoever they
Hmm.
could. Or B, oftentimes the subtitles are just the English dub script and not worrying about any kind of accurate, which can be changed for mouth sync. So it's actually more like, it's just that. Like if you watch it
Hmm.
dub with the subtitles still on, that'll probably be almost word for word,
Hmm.
which means, so again, which isn't good either. It's not like a justification. If you're going to offer it in its native language, you should get the most accurate translations you can.
Right.
But so I don't know. Again, if you only watch it in one way, how will you ever actually know? Unless you are a native Korean speaker, then you'll definitely know
Hmm.
when the English subtitles are telling you wrong. But
Yeah. Pretty much.
I would also argue, which granted, like I said, it is this like these death games are the good ones are about the people,
Hmm.
But I don't know. For what I saw of it already, I'm not super worried about accuracy as long as I care enough about the characters. And so far, yeah, I'm totally drawn into. Again, I don't know any of their damn names, but like at least so far, we've really learned about. I would say at least the main guy, who's
Yeah.
trying to keep his daughter in the country. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I care about his plight, and I love the old man already. He's having a lot of fun with red light, green light. He enjoyed himself,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we just got his. I just got his story. So like, oh, okay. So yeah, that's one y'all
Yeah.
should definitely be checking out. I would say. Like,
Yeah.
now,
Definitely recommend it. Yeah. It was an emotional trip for sure for me.
real quick, because we're already over time. Not that we super have to
Mhm.
worry about it, but we don't want to
Right.
bore y'all too long. Uh, so I just finished a series that I started a long time ago, but through multiple hiatuses, I fell off and haven't been buying any of the videos or anything. The Venture Brothers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, since they're all on HBO Max on the
That's right.
Adult Swim section. I watched the final season because the series got canceled while they were writing the next one because it was taking like 5 years.
Yeah.
Uh, dude, that is still, even though it definitely ends on a cliffhanger, that's a wild ass series. I think a lot of people should go back and kind of like re-experience. It's
Hmm.
a lot of smart humor, a lot of creativity, a lot of jokes that are no longer cool, a lot of words used,
Right.
um,
Yeah.
admittedly, but
Hmm.
it's still such a clever and well written show, regardless of that. Like I said, a lot of humor over the time, but still very, very good, and a lot of lore and dark towards the end for sure.
Yeah, they definitely build out some really interesting characters. I actually never finished it either, so I probably stopped around the same point that you stopped on. So yeah, it's kind of one of those things like for American animated like comedy shows,
Yeah,
like Rick and Morty and stuff like that. If they take a super long break, I don't know. Eventually, I just kind of get to a point where I don't care.
right.
But if they actually finish it up, then I might go back through and rewatch it and everything,
Yeah, it depends
just to
on.
get it all in.
Yeah, I would say it would depend on how much I got into the series. Like Rick and
Mhm.
Morty, yeah, they're known for their long breaks and short seasons these days. And I
Yeah.
watched up until I think probably the last hiatus or so, or maybe two hiatuses ago. And
Mhm.
I liked the show, but it didn't really do much beyond like that was enjoyable. But I guess maybe because I heard so much negativity from the fan base first, so I didn't want to get involved. But dude, like when Venture Brothers was coming out, like when they were getting seasons of season like released regularly, dude, that was my fucking show. I
Yeah.
love that show, and I still do. But even then, I'm watching like, oh, we don't call mentally challenged people that anymore. We don't.
Yeah.
So there is some dated humor in there, but I still think getting past that, there's still a lot of good wit and just an amazing vocal cast and just a lot of deepness to characters is like and just
Mhm.
seeing the evolution of them throughout the seasons was really cool to kind of binge watching it, which had become kind of my well, all right, I'm caught up on everything. I don't feel like watching what I need to pay attention to. So I've been throwing it on while I've been working on other stuff. And yeah, glad to have finally seen its entirety, even though, again, it's not getting a full end. But I guess I'm kind of
Mm,
coming to terms with that, especially, like with, Berserk not ending and what we had thought. Like, even if we never got another Saga, that's still one of the best stories I'd ever read.
hmm
You know,
Yeah.
so it didn't always have to. And sometimes the endings aren't great. So
hmm
sometimes a cliffhanger ending isn't necessarily a bad thing because you could always wonder what else could happen instead of like, well, here's the ending, and now everyone shits on the entirety of Game of Thrones, which,
Yeah, yeah, and it's
like,
just such a. It's like y'all. I mean, I don't know how many times people have to say this,
yeah,
um, but it's never about the ending,
yeah,
right? It's
right,
always about the journey, and like, you know, I don't. At this point, I honestly don't care how One Piece ends.
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely,
I assume it's gonna be amazing,
yeah,
but holy shit, like it's been a huge part of my life for
yeah,
like what the last 10 years or something, like
right.
maybe longer. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Like, and I'm with you on there. I've never watched something where it was like, oh, the ending ruined the entire experience for me. Because I've seen many shows, both serious and not. From again, like Game of Thrones, which I wasn't as mad as everyone else about that ending as everyone else was, but I could see some points. But I think a lot of people overreacted to it personally. To,
hmm
like, I've seen shows that should have ended before they did, like that '70s
hmm
show and Scrubs. And those are being comedies. But like,
hmm
I that just because they had bad final seasons doesn't take away from the multitude of years I invested and cared about the show. And I think a lot of
hmm
people need to kind of keep that in mind because 9 times out of 10, because dude, Oda could knock it out of the park and just have one of the most satisfying and glorious endings, and there's still going to be someone going, "I was disappointed." And
Right.
and the only comment I can have to that is go fuck yourself,
Yeah.
because 9 times out of 10, and of course it's not everybody, but I'm gonna say 8 times out of 10 just to be generous. That
hmm
people who say they were disappointed with an ending was only because it wasn't what they wanted to happen.
Oh yeah,
Not
absolutely.
judging on the merits of what happened, just like, well, I wanted this to go down because, like, we've discussed it. I predicted what I think the final two battles are going to be, and if it doesn't play out that way, I'm not going to be mad and say Oda's a fucking hack and One Piece is garbage. So
hmm
yeah, like, calm down, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
actually
yeah.
I've been debating on my next binge now that or low key binge. For now that Adventure Bros wrapped up, and I've been tossing around, going back to Game of Thrones, actually, to bring that up, or maybe like Vikings or Sons of Anarchy. You know, so I don't know. We'll see. And if any of y'all got some ideas, throw them at me. Something to maybe rewatch, of course, because again, it'll be stuff I have on in the background.
hmm and to no one's surprise, because I've been playing so much Sea of Thieves, I've been debating on my next binge. So we're either going to rewatch Black Sails or watch all the
Uh,
Pirates movies.
Man, yeah. I would do the Pirates movies first because you only need to
Oh yeah,
watch about three of them. But if you're gonna watch them all, watch them all. I get it.
yeah. I think there's just one in there that I haven't seen, and I'm kind of interested to just see like the downfall of the series. But
It
at
is
the same
something to
time,
behold because
yeah,
I am
yeah.
I
So
am a big fan. But that's a movie series I have to watch very specifically on my own because my wife
mm,
is terrified of octopus and squids, and yeah, there's a certain character whose face she can never see. So, so I can't go back to those anytime soon. But no, Black Sails would be
mm,
actually a really good one to go back to.
yeah,
That was an
yeah.
amazing show.
It so was like such an amazing series, great cast. Yeah, there's not a lot that I didn't like about it.
Faux show. Well, all right, y'all. I think we are going to wrap it up there because we've kept y'all for enough time. I know we may not be dropping episodes as often, but you know, I think y'all get tired of our voice after about an hour. I don't know. Maybe you don't. Let us know. Let us know. Maybe you
You
want us to
still
go
with
longer.
us?
Are you there? If you're there, say, Robo Tengus are weird in the comment section.
Yeah.
If you made it this
Yeah.
far.
Congratulations.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you check out the multitude of other shows that are now on the Bearded Captain Production from our friends Noel and Laura talking about history while being in a higher state of mind is called higher education, as well as my
Yeah.
buddy, our buddy Nick Helms, the who still goes by your nickname when you called him the Renaissance Man
All right.
when we interviewed him.
Good.
He still
Good.
calls himself that, by the way.
Good. So
Doing
glad
his
I could coin that for him.
doing his first impressions videos, where he records his immediate reaction to whatever he's checking out at the moment. And there might be some other stuff going on. We've already gotten Macabre Matinee been going for a while. My Let's Plays are going. There's a lot of content. Hopefully y'all are enjoying it and still sticking with us as we've brought the Yokai Delinquents to this channel. We appreciate every one of y'all. And yeah, we'll catch y'all next time.
Yeah. Jerry Robotingu Smith. The date is October 11th, and fuck Columbus. Peace. I'm out.
Happy. That wasn't. What's the right way? Fuck Columbus Day. It's Natives Day. Yeah, fuck Columbus. Peace.
Peace.